I wake gasping, not from a nightmare, from memory, the kind that carves itself into your bones, that rewrites everything you thought you knew about the world. My hands clutched the silk sheets of my childhood bedroom. The room I died in, 20 years from now, alone and forgotten, in a care facility my mother never visited. But that's not what makes me tremble. It's the other memory, the one that destroys me. Harrison Whitmore. Dying alone in his study while I stood outside the locked door, too cowardly to defy my mother. His ragged breathing, his final words whispered to empty air. "Jenny, my girl, I forgive you." I press my palms against my eyes, but the images won't stop. The funeral where my mother Vanessa wore black Chanel and dabbed at dry eyes. My sister, Claire, who inherited his downtown properties and sold them within a month. The lawyer's reading of the will that left me nothing because I'd signed it away. Because Mother convinced me Harrison was senile, embarrassing, worthless. The autopsy report I found decades later, hidden in Claire's safe after her own death. Arsenic, administered slowly over 3 months in his evening tea. The same tea I'd served him, unknowing, obedient, the perfect weapon. They'd murdered him, used me to do it, and I'd let them. Not this time. I check my phone with shaking hands. April 3rd. The date sears itself into my consciousness. Harrison has 2 weeks before they kill him. 2 weeks before Claire suggests he's becoming difficult, before Mother starts bringing him special tea blends, before I become complicit in the only real love I ever knew. The morning sun cuts through my curtains like a blade. I'm 23 again. Young, strong, and I remember everything. I dress quickly, jeans, a sweater, nothing that will make Mother suspicious. The house is silent except for the click of my door, the whisper of my feet on marble floors. Harrison's wing sits at the eastern edge of our estate, the part Mother always called the old man's quarters, with that particular sneer in her voice. The part I'd been taught to avoid. My heart hammers against my ribs as I walk the corridor I should have run down years ago. In my original life, I didn't come here until it was too late. Until the ambulance was already pulling away, and Mother was gripping my arm, whispering, "Don't make a scene, Jennifer. He was ancient. This is better for everyone." I'd believed her. God help me, I'd believed her. Harrison's study door is ajar. I hear him coughing, the wet, desperate sound that means the poison is already working. They must have started earlier this time. Or maybe I just never noticed before, too absorbed in my own shallow existence, in pleasing a mother who saw me as a prop, and a sister who saw me as competition. I pushed the door open. He's collapsed beside his desk, one hand clutching his chest, the other reaching for a phone he'll never reach. Harrison Whitmore, 78 years old, self-made billionaire. The man who married my mother when I was 12 and gave me the first birthday party I'd ever had, who taught me chess on rainy afternoons, who called me his daughter when my own mother called me her disappointment. He's dying, and this time I won't let him. "Harrison?" I'm across the room in seconds, dropping to my knees beside him. His eyes flutter open. Those sharp, grey eyes that built an empire from nothing, now clouded with pain and something worse. Resignation. "Jenny," his voice cracks. "Don't! Your mother will be angry." The words shatter something inside me. Even now, dying, he's trying to protect me from her. I don't care what she thinks. My hands move with purpose. I don't remember having before. I know what's happening to him. Arsenic poisoning presents as a heart attack. Convenient, believable, perfect for women who poison with smiles. "Harrison, listen to me. You've been poisoned. The tea Mother brings you every night. Don't drink it. Never drink it again." His eyes widen. For a moment, I see the ruthless businessman who crushed corporate rivals and built towers that scraped clouds. Vanessa and Claire. The names taste like venom. They want your empire. They've been killing you slowly for months. I should call 911. In my old life, I would have. But in my old life, the doctors found nothing, ruled it natural causes, and my mother scattered his ashes in the rose garden before his real children from his first marriage could contest the will. This time, I'm smarter. This time, I'm ready. The antidote is activated charcoal and chelation therapy, but first, I'm already pulling out my phone, but not for an ambulance. For Richard Chen, Harrison's personal physician, who retired mysteriously 3 months ago. In my original timeline, I never questioned it. Now I know Mother paid him off. But I also know Richard loved Harrison like a brother. Dr. Chen, it's Jennifer Whitmore, Harrison's stepdaughter. My voice doesn't shake. Harrison's been poisoned with arsenic. He needs chelation therapy immediately. Can you come to the estate? Now? The silence on the other end stretches. Then, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Keep him conscious. Make him drink water if he can. Jennifer, if you're right about this. I am. I meet Harrison's gaze. His hand finds mine, grip surprisingly strong. I'm sure. I cradle his head in my lap, this man who loved me unconditionally, who I abandoned to death because I was too weak to see the vipers in my own home. Tears streak down my face, hot and furious. I'm sorry, I whisper. I'm so sorry I didn't see it before. But I see it now, Harrison. I see everything, and I swear to you, they will pay for every moment of pain they've caused you. He tries to speak. I press my fingers gently to his lips. Save your strength. Dr. Chen is coming. You're going to live, Harrison. You're going to live and watch them fall. His eyes glisten. In them, I see the question he's too kind to ask. Why now? Why did it take this long for you to choose me? Because I died unloved and alone, I want to tell him. Because I spent my last breath regretting every moment I wasted trying to earn affection from women made of ice and ambition. Because God, or fate, or the universe gave me one impossible gift. The chance to save the only person who ever truly saw me. Instead, I hold him tighter and listen for the sound of Dr. Chen's car on the gravel drive. The girl who watched him die is gone. In her place is someone harder, someone who remembers death and won't forget, someone ready for war. Mother finds us 20 minutes later. Dr. Chen has already started treatment. IV fluids, chelation agents, activated charcoal, to bind whatever poison remains in Harrison's system. Harrison's colour is returning, his breathing steadier. He's going to live. Vanessa stands in the doorway like a fashion magazine come to life. Cream silk blouse, tailored black pants, her blonde hair swept into a perfect chignon. She's 52 and looks 35 because she spends more on her face than most people spend on houses. Beautiful, cold, lethal. My mother. Jennifer. Her voice could frost glass. What is the meaning of this? You know Harrison doesn't like disruptions. He was dying. I don't stand. Don't leave Harrison's side. My hand stays clasped in his, a silent declaration. Arsenic poisoning, administered slowly over months. Someone's been trying to murder him. I watch her face. In my old life, I never knew how to read her. I thought her blank expression meant composure, sophistication. Now I recognize it for what it is. A predator's mask. That's absurd. Harrison's been having heart trouble. No! Dr. Chen's voice cuts through her protest like a scalpel. The symptoms align perfectly with chronic arsenic exposure. Nausea, confusion, muscle weakness, cardiac arrhythmia. I should have seen it months ago, but... His jaw tightens. I was encouraged to retire, told that Harrison wanted a younger physician. Mother's eyes narrow. Richard, I don't appreciate these accusations. I'm not accusing. I rise slowly, keeping my body between her and Harrison. I'm stating facts. Someone's been poisoning him. The tea you bring him every night, Mother. The special blend that's supposed to help him sleep. When was the last time anyone else drank it? The silence stretches like a razor wire. Jennifer, you're being hysterical. Test it? Harrison's voice, weak but clear. We all turn. He's propped up against pillows now, IV in his arm, but his eyes are sharp again. The businessman returning. Test the tea, Vanessa. If Jennifer's wrong, we'll all apologise. If she's right, she's delusional. But Mother's backing toward the door. This is absurd. I've been nothing but devoted. Then you won't mind the investigation. I pull out my phone again. This time, I'm calling someone else. Someone I should have called in my first life when I finally found the autopsy report but was too broken to care. Detective Morrison? This is Jennifer Whitmore. I need to report an attempted murder. Mother goes white. Actually, white. It's the first real expression I've seen on her face in years. You wouldn't dare! He's my father. The words come out harder than diamonds. You can call him my stepfather if you want, but he's been more of a parent to me than you ever were. He taught me to play piano. He came to my college graduation when you were in Milan. He's the only person in this house who ever loved me just for existing. My voice drops. And you tried to kill him. I have done no such thing. Then, where's Claire? Harrison's question is quiet, deadly. Your daughter spends every Tuesday afternoon at the estate. She always joins us for tea, but she hasn't visited in 3 weeks, not since the poisoning accelerated. Mother's mask cracks, just for a second, but I see it. The flash of panic, of calculation, of a plan unravelling. The doorbell rings. Detective Morrison has fast response time, it seems. Jennifer, please. Mother's voice shifts, softens. I know this tone, the one she uses when she wants something. You're confused. The stress of Harrison's illness? Save it. I walk past her to open the door. The only thing I'm confused about is how I ever believed you loved anyone but yourself. Detective Morrison is a woman in her 40s with tired eyes and a no-nonsense expression. Behind her, 2 uniformed officers wait on the steps. I give them everything, the timeline, the symptoms, Dr. Chen's findings, the tea that sits untouched on Harrison's nightstand. We'll need to take that in for analysis, Morrison says, bagging the porcelain cup with gloved hands. And I'll need statements from everyone in the household. Of course. I keep my voice steady. My mother, Vanessa Whitmore, my sister, Claire Ashford. They both had access to Harrison's private quarters. They both stood to inherit his fortune. This is outrageous, Mother starts, but Morrison holds up a hand. Mrs. Whitmore, I strongly suggest you contact your attorney. If these allegations are substantiated, you're looking at attempted murder charges. The words hang in the air like a guillotine blade. Mother's eyes find mine across the room. In them, I see something I've never seen before. Fear, real, genuine fear. And, beneath it, hatred, pure and undiluted. You'll regret this, Jennifer. No. I smile. It doesn't reach my eyes. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. She leaves, spine straight, heels clicking on marble. Already calling her lawyer, no doubt. Already strategizing. She doesn't understand yet that this isn't a game she can win. That I'm not the weak, desperate girl who craved her approval anymore. I'm someone who's already died once, and the dead have nothing left to fear. Harrison recovers quickly with proper treatment. Within 3 days, he's sitting up eating solid food, his natural vitality returning. Dr. Chen runs test after test, documenting everything for the investigation. The tea comes back positive for arsenic. So does Harrison's blood work. The case is airtight. Claire makes her first mistake on the 4th day. She comes to visit. I'm in Harrison's room when she arrives. Designer dress, crocodile tears, playing the concerned stepdaughter. She doesn't know I'm there, hidden in the adjoining bathroom with the door cracked. Listening. Harrison, darling, I'm so glad you're feeling better. Her voice drips sympathy. Mother told me about Jennifer's wild accusations. You know she's always been unstable. This stress must be affecting her judgment. I watch through the crack. Harrison's face remains neutral, but I know him now. I can see the calculation in his eyes. Is that so? He says mildly. Strange. Jennifer seemed quite rational when she saved my life. Claire's smile doesn't waver, but her hands clench. Well, of course, anyone would panic seeing you collapse. But this business about poison? About Mother and I trying to... It's insane, Harrison. We love you. Do you... It's not a question. Claire freezes. Do you love me, Claire? Or do you love the properties downtown that you've been eyeing for the past 6 months? The ones you've already drawn up development plans for, even though they're not for sale. Her face goes blank. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a businessman, Claire. I didn't build an empire by being blind. Harrison's voice hardens. I've had investigators watching both you and your mother for weeks. Ever since Richard mentioned his sudden retirement felt off. Ever since I started feeling ill and you stopped drinking the tea Vanessa brings. The silence is absolute. The question is, Harrison continues, did you know your mother was poisoning me? Or were you just planning to capitalise once I was conveniently dead? Claire's mask shatters. You're a paranoid old man. I'm a billionaire who just realised his wife and stepdaughter are trying to murder him. Harrison's eyes are ice. There's a difference. Get out of my house, Claire, and tell your mother her lawyers will be hearing from mine. Claire leaves without another word. I wait until her footsteps fade before emerging from the bathroom. Harrison looks at me. His expression softens. How long were you listening? Long enough. I sit beside his bed, take his hand. I needed to know if she'd confess, if there was any chance I was wrong about her. You weren't wrong. His fingers tighten around mine. About any of it. Jennifer, why didn't you tell me sooner, before it got this far? The question I've been dreading. How do I explain that I did tell him in a life that hasn't happened yet, that I watched him die and spent 20 years living with the guilt before God gave me a second chance? Because I was afraid, I say instead. It's true enough. Afraid of Mother, afraid of losing her love, afraid of being alone. I meet his eyes. But I'm not afraid anymore, Harrison. I choose you. I choose us. The family they tried to destroy. His eyes glisten. He pulls me into an embrace, this man who's been more father to me than anyone with my blood. My girl, he whispers. My brave girl, I'm so proud of you. I cry then, not from sadness, from relief, from the overwhelming weight of being seen, chosen, loved unconditionally, the thing I spent my first life searching for in all the wrong places. We need to change your will, I say when I can speak again, before they try something else. Harrison nods. Already done. Called my lawyers yesterday. Vanessa and Claire get nothing. Every penny, every property, every share goes to you and my charitable foundation. He smiles grimly. They poison me for an empire they'll never touch. And the criminal case? Detective Morrison says they have enough to arrest them both. The tea tested positive. Security footage shows Vanessa preparing it in the kitchen, adding something from an unmarked bottle. Claire's emails show she was researching arsenic symptoms and inheritance law. His expression hardens. They're thorough, I'll give them that, but they underestimated you. They underestimated the power of a second chance, of someone who's already lost everything and refused to lose it again. When? I ask. Tomorrow morning. Morrison wants to coordinate the arrests. Harrison squeezes my hand. Are you ready to watch your mother go to prison? I think of her face when I called the police, her threats, her hatred. I think of all the years she made me feel small, worthless, wrong. All the times she chose Claire over me, money over love, appearances over truth. I think of Harrison dying alone in that study, calling my name with his last breath. Yes, I say, I'm ready. They arrest Mother at dawn. I watch from Harrison's window as Detective Morrison and 4 officers pull up the drive in unmarked cars. Watch as they knock on Mother's door. Watch as she emerges in a silk robe, outraged, demanding to speak with her lawyer. Watch as they read her rights and cuff her hands behind her back. Vanessa Whitmore, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of Harrison Whitmore. You have the right to remain silent, she screams. Actually screams, not the elegant, controlled woman who graced magazine covers and charity galas. Something raw and ugly breaks through. This is a mistake. Jennifer put you up to this. She's manipulating you all. Mrs. Whitmore, you need to calm down. I won't calm down. That ungrateful little bitch is lying. I gave her everything. Harrison's hand finds my shoulder. You don't have to watch this. Yes, I say quietly, I do, because I need to see it. Need to witness the moment the woman who tried to murder the only person who loved me realizes she's lost. That her beauty, her charm, her perfect facade can't save her from the consequences of her own poison. They put her in the car. She's still screaming, face twisted with rage and terror. The neighbours watch from their windows. By noon, it'll be all over the news. By evening, she'll be the pariah she deserves to be. Claire's arrest happens an hour later at her downtown penthouse. She goes quietly, already lawyered up, already calculating her defence. She doesn't scream like Mother. She just looks at the cameras, at the reporters already gathering, and smiles like she's attending a press junket. She doesn't understand yet that this isn't something she can spin. That attempted murder doesn't care about PR strategy or social media presence. That juries tend to hate beautiful women who poison elderly men for money. She'll understand soon enough. The trial takes 6 months. 6 months of headlines, depositions, expert testimony. Dr. Chen testifies about the poisoning symptoms. The toxicologist testifies about the arsenic levels. Security experts testify about the footage showing Vanessa preparing the poison tea. And I testify about the years I spent watching them circle Harrison like vultures waiting for him to die. Mother's lawyer tries to paint me as vindictive, as a daughter seeking revenge for some imagined slight. He points out that I stand to inherit Harrison's fortune, suggests I manufactured the evidence to eliminate competition. But he can't explain the arsenic in Harrison's system, can't explain the footage, can't explain why Claire researched inheritance law for deaths by poisoning. The jury deliberates for 4 hours, guilty on all counts. Mother faints when they read the verdict. Claire just stares straight ahead, her perfect mask finally permanently cracked. The judge sentenced them to 20 years each. Attempted murder, conspiracy, fraud, no parole for the first 10 years. I watch them taken away in shackles and feel nothing. No satisfaction, no triumph, just the quiet certainty that justice has been served. Harrison holds my hand through all of it, never letting go. Harrison and I stand in his study, the same room where I found him dying, where this second chance began. 18 months have passed since the arrests. The house feels different now, lighter, like something toxic has been scrubbed away. The papers came through today, Harrison says, handing me a thick envelope. Official adoption. You're legally my daughter now, Jennifer, not stepdaughter, daughter. My hands shake as I open it. There's my name. Jennifer Whitmore, daughter of Harrison Whitmore. No mention of Vanessa, no connection to the woman rotting in prison. Harrison, I should have done this years ago. His voice roughens with emotion. I let Vanessa convince me it would upset you, that you needed time. But the truth is, I was afraid you'd say no. that you didn't want an old man as your father when you had a real family. I laughed through tears. Real family? Harrison, you're the only real family I've ever had. The only person who ever chose me just because I existed. I throw my arms around him. I love you, Dad. He holds me tight. I feel him shaking. I love you too, sweetheart. So damn much. We stay like that for a long moment. Father and daughter. The family Vanessa and Claire tried to destroy. The family that survived. The Foundation's been asking about you, Harrison says when we finally separate. They want you on the board. Your ideas about funding education programs for underprivileged kids, they're excited about it. Really? I've been working with Harrison's charitable foundation, the one that will inherit half his fortune when he's gone, helping kids who grew up like I did, overlooked, underestimated, desperate for someone to believe in them. Really, you have good instincts, Jenny, better than mine sometimes. He smiles. In 5 years, when I retire, I want you to run the company, not just inherit it. Run it. The old me would have panicked, insisted I wasn't smart enough, wasn't ready, wasn't worthy. But I'm not the old me anymore. I died and came back stronger. Yes, I say, I'd be honoured. Harrison pulls me to the window. The city spreads below us, glittering in the afternoon sun. Half of it belongs to us now, the empire Vanessa and Claire murdered for, but never got to touch. Do you ever think about them? Harrison asks quietly. I consider the question. Do I think about my mother and sister locked away in their separate prisons? About the women who raised me to be weak, who taught me to doubt myself, who tried to kill the only person who loved me? Sometimes, I admit, but not the way I used to. I don't miss them. I don't even hate them anymore. They're just gone, like a disease that's been cut out. That's healthy. Harrison squeezes my shoulder. Hate would poison you the way they tried to poison me. Better to let them fade, to build something better in their place. I lean against him. This man who taught me what unconditional love looks like, who forgave my weakness and saw my strength, who gave me a second chance even before the universe did. Thank you, I whisper, for not giving up on me, for loving me when I didn't deserve it. You always deserved it, sweetheart. You just couldn't see it yet. He kisses the top of my head. But you see it now, don't you? I do. God help me, I finally do. I see that love isn't something you earn through perfection or obedience. It's something given freely to the people who matter. I see that family isn't defined by blood, but by choice, by who shows up when you're dying and who holds your hand through the darkness. I see that the girl who died alone and overlooked isn't who I am anymore. I'm Jennifer Whitmore, daughter of Harrison Whitmore, heir to an empire, survivor of death itself. And I'm finally, beautifully free. Epilogue. 5 years later, I receive a letter from the prison. Mother is dying. Cancer, stage 4. She wants to see me, wants forgiveness before she goes. I read the letter twice in Harrison's study, the room that's become my favourite place in the world. Harrison's in London on business. At 83, he's finally starting to slow down, letting me take over more of the company operations. But he's still sharp, still brilliant, still the best father anyone could ask for. I should tear up the letter, throw it away, let Vanessa die alone the way she tried to let Harrison die. But I'm not her. I never will be. I visit the prison on a grey Tuesday afternoon. The guard leads me through security, through corridors that smell of bleach and despair. Vanessa waits in a private visiting room, pale, skeletal, a ghost of the woman who once graced magazine covers. She's 57. She looks 80. Jennifer. Her voice is a rasp. You came. I sit across from her. Don't take her hand when she reaches for it. You're dying, Yes. No tears. Vanessa never cried, even when facing death. The doctors say weeks, maybe days. We sit in silence. I wait for her to speak, to explain, to beg. She does none of those things. I don't expect forgiveness, she finally says. I know what I did. What Claire and I did, her eyes meet mine. I won't insult you by pretending it was anything other than greed. Why? The question escapes before I can stop it. You had money, status, everything you claimed to want. It wasn't enough. Simple, honest. It was never enough. Harrison's money, his empire, it was right there and I wanted it. She coughs, a wet sound. I wanted it more than I wanted you, more than I wanted anything. The truth settles between us like ash. Claire feels the same, Vanessa continues. She's already planning her appeal, hasn't written me once in 5 years. She thinks I dragged her down, ruined her life. A bitter smile. Maybe I did. You did. I lean forward. You taught her that people are objects, that love is weakness, that money matters more than everything else. You destroyed her the same way you tried to destroy Harrison. I pause. The same way you almost destroyed me. But I didn't. Vanessa's eyes trace my face. You saved him. You saved yourself. You became... She stops, swallows. You became exactly what I couldn't be. Strong, genuine, loved. Because of Harrison, not you. I know. She closes her eyes. I know, Jennifer. Believe me, I know. These 5 years in here watching you on the news, seeing you take over the foundation, become everything I pretended to be. Her voice breaks. I know what I lost, what I threw away. I stand. There's nothing more to say. No forgiveness to give, just the quiet certainty that this woman will die knowing exactly what her choices cost her. Goodbye, Vanessa. Jenny. The childhood nickname stops me at the door. Tell Harrison, she struggles for words. Tell him he was right about everything, about you. I leave without responding. Let the door close between us. Let her die with her regrets. 3 days later, I get the call. Vanessa Whitmore, dead at 57. Claire doesn't attend the funeral. Neither do I. We cremate her body and scatter the ashes in an unmarked field. No monument, no memorial, just the weight of her own venom, returned to dust. Harrison holds me that night while I cry. Not for her, but for the mother I never had. The one I spent 23 years trying to please before I died and learned the truth. He doesn't tell me it's okay, doesn't offer empty platitudes. He just holds me, loves me, reminds me I'm his daughter and nothing will ever change that. Claire gets denied parole. I hear about it through lawyers. She'll serve her full 20 years. By then, she'll be middle-aged, forgotten, stripped of everything she valued. The penthouse is gone, the properties are gone, even her friends abandoned her when the money dried up. I could pity her, should, maybe, but I remember Harrison's face when I found him dying. Remember the years of venom she and Vanessa fed me, the casual cruelty, the dismissal. Remember how close I came to letting him die because they convinced me he was worthless. No, Claire gets exactly what she earned, and I get Harrison, the foundation. The empire we're building together, not one of greed, but of purpose. We fund schools in poor neighbourhoods, scholarship programmes for overlooked kids, medical research, programmes for at-risk youth. We take the wealth Vanessa murdered for and use it to heal. 10 years after my rebirth, Harrison dies peacefully in his sleep at 88. I'm holding his hand when he goes, just like he held mine through every storm. His last words are, "So proud of you, my girl, so proud." I inherit everything, not because I manipulated or murdered, but because I loved, because I chose him when it mattered, because I became the daughter he deserved. At his funeral, thousands attend, business leaders, charity workers, kids whose lives he changed. They all tell me the same thing. Harrison Whitmore was a good man, a great man. He'll be missed. But I don't cry at the funeral. I cried enough in private, in his study, surrounded by his books and his memory. The public ceremony is for them, for the city he built, for the legacy that will outlive us both. I cry alone that night in the house that's become my home, the house where I found him dying, where I saved him, where we built a family from the ruins of betrayal. The girl who watched him die in her first life is gone forever. In her place stands a woman who knows the weight of second chances, who learned that love is stronger than poison, that family is chosen, that revenge served cold is justice, and justice is its own kind of peace. I'm 38 now, CEO of the Whitmore Foundation, one of Forbes' most influential women, unmarried, focused, driven by purpose rather than greed. And every day I remember waking with the memories of death, remember finding Harrison dying, remember the moment I chose love over fear, remember that I was reborn not just in flesh, but in spirit, forged in the fire of a second chance, tempered by the love of a father who saw me when everyone else looked away. The woman I am now is the woman Harrison always believed I could be, the woman Vanessa tried to prevent me from becoming. And in the end, that's the sweetest victory of all. Not that they lost everything, but that I found myself, found love, found home, that the overlooked girl became a queen, not of empires, but of her own soul, and no poison, no betrayal, no cruelty could ever take that away. I stand at Harrison's grave on the anniversary of my rebirth, 10 years of new life behind me. The stone is simple. Harrison Whitmore, beloved father, the words I chose, the truth he earned. Thank you, I whisper to the wind, for loving me, for saving me, for showing me what family really means. The breeze carries my words away. Somewhere I imagine him smiling, proud, at peace, and I smile back, the daughter he chose, the woman I became, reborn from ashes, standing in sunlight, finally, beautifully whole.